Hello and welcome back. Right, as in this video, what we're going to be doing is the ceiling to the ground floor. What we're going to do is put ceiling paper on it, and that is an M plus. After marks it all out and put a ceiling paper on it, we're going to put the floor. I'm going to put some magnets into the floor. And then once we built the second floor, and I could take it on and off, and that is if need be. And now I'm not going to have any wires, lights. I'm having lights, but I'm having battery lights, and I'm not going to have any floor wires coming through the floor. So I ain't got a channel in for the wiring. So yeah, and that's all I'm going to do now. And then move the base out of the way, and we'll have a look at the ceiling. I've taken the ceiling off the house, and what I'm going to do is turn it over. So this is the ceiling side where faces down, and there's into the rooms. And then if you have a look at the walls, as I say the walls are 10 millimetre thick. So with all this edging, and I've cut around, that is the size of the house. That is the outside of the house, as I say, the edge. And then what I'm going to do is measure. There you can see. Measure from this corner, and that is 10 millimetres in. And that will be the thickness of my wall. I'm going to do that all the way round, and even over here, because I did mark where this bit is overhangs. I'm going to do that now. And now I have got a straight edge, two straight edges. That is my 1, 2, 3 block, and my 90-degree angle. I've got that. So what I do is just butt that up against the edge, and either one. And then I just butt that up against the edge. And if you can see that, oh yeah, you can, yeah. And that is, and then mark off. And I am going to try use a pencil again because I'm facing down. Oh yeah, that works. So that's handy. And I'll do this end here. I'll go 10 mil. And what I will do is go, and then what I have to do is get me longer ruler. And that. So I've got me longer ruler. So just mark that through there. That's a 10 mil. So when I come, and I'm going to do that all the way around the edge, and as in we'll go back to the house, measure from the wall to the other wall, and as in then do the marks through there. Yeah, this is Erman's study. That's a study. This is the dining room. That one there is the wine room, and then we got kitchen, and then we got there's a living room, and then we got the bathroom. So what I'm going to do is go round, and then you just see me mark this one. So what I'm going to do is go round all the edge and mark that, and that's a bit boring. I ain't going to show you that on the camera, but and I'll go around the edge, and I'll come back, and that's once it's done, and then show you what it's like, and once it's done. I've done all the lines, and I hope you can see these all right. You can see all the lines are done, and I've done it all the way around to where every wall's going to go. But how I'm going to do the ceiling is cut a card, the same as on the walls. Well, I've done the walls, but what I'm going to do is cut the paper out, and to the size of the rooms, and transfer that to the cards, and then paint the cards. Yeah, and and then stick it to the foam boards. Yes, so the ceiling I'm going to paint where the 4 rooms what I've done, and I'm going to paint cream again, because on the photos what I've got, or the pictures that I've got of the Erman's mansion, the rooms, The ceilings are cream. I didn't use paper or cards and that to put on the ceiling, but what I did do is just paint it, and I got a test bit of the foam boards because I thought it might come out all lumpy, but and if it doesn't, so that's really good to know that. So. And hopefully, along this project, so I ain't got to use card and all that to stick on the walls, and I can just paint the walls. But yeah, so that's the the ceiling done to the ground floor, and I did do Erman's study, and I did do the wine room, and I said I wasn't going to do it, but I don't know, I did do it. So that saved a lot of work by not marking out paper, and that's in transferring it to cards, and that's in painting the cards, and that's in stick it to the ceiling. So so that's all the ceilings done. Because I thought if I done cards, and then if I don't get it right, and as in when I put this house in, and if the card sits on the wall, and as the ceiling won't sit down flat, so that's handy not to do that. Right, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to is get the house over, and as in put it back on, and on the house, and as in mark off where the magnets, and that's to hold this ceiling down to the walls, and as in like to mark off the removable doors on it, walls, sorry, and as in I know where to go. So. And then what I do is now is get the house over, and that is, and then show you before I'll show you that, and I will show you a test bit I've done on the removable walls, putting the pin nails in and putting the magnets in. So I'll just get that ready, and as and then as soon as we're going with that. Okay, I've got me test bit where I did. And I make this before I even attempted to make the movable walls. And I don't know if I've shown you this before and that, but I will show you again. And you see now I've got like pin nails. You can see now I have scraped the paper away. It's just an ordinary bit of paper like this, and now we're like that. It's just an ordinary bit of paper. And as in once you've got that like it's them stuck in pin nails, and all you do is just put it over top to stop them pulling out. But so I've done the pin nails there like that, and then I've done the magnets, and as in what I've done with there's the magnets, and I don't know if you can see them. Hang on, and what do I get them out? And as they do, like, you just pull one off like that. See in there, so got it. I'll put them back in there because I don't want them rolling about, go on the floor, and the dog gets them. And that's my pin nails. What I do with these, and now you see they're all like separate, and then what I do is we break off like I have about 5 or 7, and that is and then we use them. So what I do, I like is mark out what I'm going to have them, and what I do, I like lay these on the card and on the 5 foam boards, and I'll show you. I'll just break off. They're easy to break off, but usually I use a pair of pliers or something, and they just hold them. So I just broke that one off, and that's 2, 4, 6, 7. And as in what I do is they just hold them on the foam ball like that on top of it, mark around it, and that is in like do like top and bottom, and then mark around it, and that is and then get my sharp knife or something, and as in then just dig that out, and as in and that is the same as that one down there, and as once you dug it out, put glue in it. And that is in just put these in the hole, push them down, and leave them to dry. And as once they've dry, and then as all you do is just put a paper over them, and that is to stop them and pulling out. And that is also you do that with the magnets. and that same thing, and they take them out and they draw around them, dig the hole out of the foam board, put glue in, push that in, let it dry, and then put paper over, and then that comes to be your movable wall. Hang on, which way have I got it up? Is that way? Yeah. And I'm going to get the house over now, and as we mark off, and then where they're going to go, and I can mark off where the movable doors are, so I know where I can and then put these in and the magnets in. Okay, I've got the house over, and I've got the ceiling, ceiling stroke first floor. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to mark out where I'm going to have my magnets. And I've got 16 magnets left, so hopefully I won't use that many. I can't put any magnets where the removable walls are. So, and I've got the first floor weighted down, and so it don't move. And but as I'm marking them out, and I will turn it round so you can see what I'm doing. And that so, and then I was thinking about having one. And then if I start here, well, I'll start here where you can see, and then I work around that way. So I'm going to have one here. So I will put one, mark that, or I'll mark the top. One there and one here. Well, no, I can't because I'll need to mark this here. So I've got one there. And then if you see them marks, I'll have one there. I'll have one on this is on this face here of the building. Got one there, so that's two. I'm going to have one either side of this the removable wall, because the removable wall's there. So I'm going to have one there and one there. See why I'm doing them there? And because I could turn it over, and we'll just look at the side, and I know where they're going. And then plus, we'll just look at this mark here, and I know where it's going there. But there again, I can't really have it there because it's too close to the removable wall. So what I do, I'll put it back over here. So I have rubbed this, is that one out, as well, just there, and I'll mark a little bit further back from the wall. And that's, so I've got one there, and I've marked one, and above that R. And so what I'm going to do is move the house round, and then like I'll mark them out, and then I'll come back and show you, and then where I marked them. Right, I've got I've just counted them, and I've got 14 magnets going to go in to hold the floor. And so I've got one there, that's one, got one there, and one there. So that's 4 there. And then turn it round. And I've got one there, and I've got one there on this side wall. And then I haven't got none where the removable walls are. And I've got one there. Oh, sorry. Yeah, got one there, you can see. And now I've got one there. And then I've got one there where that mark is. One there and one there. And then I think it leaves about another one or two. And then I've got one. And I've got one just about there. But back on that wall there. So, and I've got one there. And I don't know if I in the counted that one, but that works out to about 14. So, and that's what I'm going to do is go away now, is put all them in, and that's going to take a little while. And then they told me for pin nails to go in into the ceiling, and they put the magnets in the walls, and then I'll come back and show you once it's done. Joke. Yeah. Joke. 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 Teddy, wait a minute. Right, because these two are getting impatient, and that, so what we're going to do is carry on, and then walking the two dogs, and we'll see you again in a moment. We'll see in a minute. Okay, I'll put all the pin nails in the ceiling, as I'll just show you. They're all done now, and as all done to the marks. You see the marks I've put. I've only cut a couple more pin nails and couple more magnets, because and then when you see this on the roof, it was on the and on the floor for the ceiling. This is bowed in the middle there, so hopefully they'll put them down. So I've done in pin nails, and as what I've done is cut a couple of strips of paper, and it's only 10mm wide. And what I do, and it's with the pin nails and the magnets. And then what I do is cut a strip off, glue above the pin nails and the magnets, and then just stick that over the top. And once that dries, that stops the pin nails or the magnets for pulling out. So so that's what I'm going to do in a moment. And as we go on, I'll show you that I've done them, because there's a couple of other things I want to do after this as well. So that's the pin nails in the ceiling. I'll put that down at one side, and then we have got the magnets. I'll put that down there, and we have got the magnets in the walls, and they're all done, and then that's where the marks are, and also I'm doing that the same, and then with the paper on these, just cut a bit off, glue on there, and then just do these above it, and let it dry. Okay. Yeah. as I said before I started this project, I've never ever worked with a foam board before, because the Art Deco house and the other houses, but the Art Deco I built from scratch, and the other bits are like as the room boxes and that as we made and that, but I've always made them from 9mm MDF, and that's all I ever worked in it with, and that. But the foam boards, it is the first time I ever used it, and yes, all we had with this silver ceiling to the ground floor was, and when I painted the underside of it, you can see there, and that the cream on the underside of it, or beige, sorry, yeah, cream for the ceilings, and all this bit here, and it warped, it all cut up, and it was like half a balloon or something, you know, and then it was about an inch off this wall along here, high, and that's how I put all the magnets in, as you know, and then I put all the magnets in and the pin nails to pull it all back down, but no, and as it didn't work. So what we done is went online onto YouTube and watched somebody else with foam boards, and that is how they got the bend out of it, and after painting it, and as once they painted it, and as it warped, and then as had a big bow in it. So what they done was let that dry, and then they put all weights on it to they tried to flatten it out, but anybody wouldn't. So what they done was painted the other side of it, or get a damp rag, and then just wipe it to make the paper wet, and now because you've got paper on both sides, and as once that paper gets wet, and as it starts shrinking a little bit, and then if you do one side, it puts a big bow and a bow in it. So, but if you just said if you wait till it dries and either paint it or get in a wet rag and wet a little bit of it, leave it, and then it pulls itself back straight. And but what we done was put it on there because I did magnets, and that is in the walls and now pins in the ceiling, but because that didn't work at all. So so and then after we painted it, I painted it, we got some dress pins, dress pins, and as we pushed all around the edge, and especially in here because it was in here, and what was bowed there, and then we pinned that down and all that, because I was going to put weights on it, but if you put weights on it, and 1, 2, 3 blocks, and with the wet paint, and as it might have stuck. So that's how we got the bow out of it, and lucky enough it come out. So now I know. So because you live and learn, and that is by doing things and watching other people. So right, so that's it. And now what I'm going to do is to start doing the doors now, and we'll do a couple of doors, and let's see how we go on, and then from there. Okay, and then because a little bit of good news. Since this the ceiling has settled, and as it's settled down straight now, and where it's a bit closer to the walls now, the magnets are working just, and so it's enough to hold the ceiling on. And I will show you when I pick the ceiling off. You will see like kind of like ping up slightly, and then so you know they're working. And yes, I'm really pleased with that. And I said a lot just a minute ago, and it doesn't matter. I don't think they are working, but they are. So lovely. So yeah, this is the magnets. Was working, and Debbie was just here. You see it ping up, right? And as it goes and back down. So again, very lovely. So that's the right result. So they're right on with the doors. As I made 3 doors And there's one door. This one's going to go in the hallway. It's underneath the stairs. That's the one to get into the kitchen. Well, we'll stand out there for a moment, and we'll put it in a minute to show you. And that's the one underneath the stairs. This is the one from the, sorry, here's another one, and this is from the dining room, and that is out to the backyard. So that's another one, and that's all. But and everyone's made out of cardboard. Everyone's made out of cardboard, and there's even the handles are made out of cardboard. So that's another one. What, sorry, and well, I'll show you this other one, and then I'll come around the front there, and as in stand that one in, and I'll explain what's going to happen to that one. But that's the one from the kitchen out to the backyard as well. So yeah, it's on the back of it. I've got two doors. So yeah, and because I think they come out pretty well. So there's that one. So what I'm going to do is come around the front now. Right, I'm around the front of the house now. And what's going to happen is this one's going to go in there like this. And I've got this bit of card down on the floor there because the floor ain't been done in the hallway yet, as you can see. And hang on, once I get it together. If I could just sit that on there like that, and just get a bit of card over, like that. That will sit. Oh, that will sit like that. And but I ain't going to stick this one in at the moment because I was thinking that if I stick that in, and when I come to do the floor in the hallway, and I won't be able to get underneath the door. So what I will do is do the floor is in the corridor or the hallway where the stairs are, and I can stick that in afterwards. So that one ain't gonna be stuck in. So, but I will just leave it in the house until that's ready. Yeah, what I'm gonna do now is go away, stick these two doors in the back of the house, and then come back and show you what they're like. Okay, I've stuck the doors in, so because they do look quite effective in there, because that door will open that way, and because I'm gonna have stairs going down here is into the garden or is all the backyards, and I'm gonna have an hammer around here. We'll stop anybody walking out there and falling down, but that's where the steps are going to go down this way. And now I'm just going to turn the house down to that side, and then you can see the back door is into the kitchen. And then over you see that one. And there's this one stuck in there as well. And because I ain't having them opening, because otherwise you've got pins and all that in there, and you've got to make like swing it open. And if you swing it open after a little while, it's just going to rip the cardboard. So, and then what I've done is stuck them in. That's the three doors I made as well. So what I'm going to do is turn it back around, and I'll come back and speak to you in just a second. We're going to end this video here now, and as I hope you like the bits and pieces we've done in this video. And then I hope you stay tuned. And then and I look forward to see you again in the or speaking to you as in the next one. And then we get on doing there's more to the Munsters house. And I am looking over there because I've taken off this table here and I'll put it over there. So I'll keep on glancing to it over there, and as in trying to think, well, where I know what to do. But I've got loads and loads of stuff to do, as you know. Yeah, hopefully I'll be doing the front entrance and the hallway and stairs, hopefully. And then if we've got enough time in that video, I'll be starting the rooms, and that is on the first floor. So thank you for watching, and as in we'll catch you in the next one. So sorry, and have a nice weekend. and that because the weekend's already started. But and have a nice rest of it, and we'll catch you in the next one. So thank you. Bye bye.